you don't follow the UFC, you might not know the name Colby Covington, but you should. Covington is a brash, unapologetic former UFC welterweight champ, but even more famously, he's a friend and outspoken supporter of the guy you might know, former President Donald Trump. Last week, with Trump sitting ringside, Colby lost his attempt to regain his title, and while the stats show that Covington outfought his opponent, he still lost by a decision, unanimous decision. And according to Covington, that's because his political stance and his support for former President Trump. After the fight, Covington said the UFC judges have never favored him and, quote, "They hate me because I support Trump."
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here, and UFC fighter Colby Covington is an outspoken Donald Trump supporter. He's been riding the talk show circuit recently, making excuses for losing in the octagon. Covington lost his welterweight championship fight to Leon Edwards not very long ago. He lost in a unanimous decision and was beaten silly and left almost unrecognizable in the process.
You know, my whole career it isn't just this one fight. My whole career, you know, I've had to battle against the death being uneven. You know, the judges scoring against me because they obviously hate Trump. You know, all the people in these positions have big time Trump derangement syndrome. So, you know, that's definitely hurt me in my career. I'd rather go out standing up for what I believe than bowing down and taking handouts from the devil, literally like the devil. You know, you see all these athletes taking these paychecks from Pfizer and just getting paid off to just, you know, talk about these disgusting left talking points. And, you know, I'm not going to ever sell my soul. No amount of money is ever going to be able to buy me off. So it's an honor to, you know, represent President Trump. He's the best and biggest fighter we've ever had in America. The guy could be enjoying his life on the most beautiful property in Palm Beach, but he said, no, I want to come back and fight for this country. He wants to deal with the smear campaign of him and his family. He's willing to put up with all these rhinos coming after him for his love of God and country. So God bless President Trump.
Covington was absolutely humiliated in the match. He got a full-blown bully beat down, and everyone was cheering for his opponent. Colby Covington is a big mouth that ran into a buzzsaw, and it was epic. UFC Hall of Famer Royce Gracie is quoted saying, "A black belt only covers 2 inches of your backside. The rest you have to cover on your own." Colby Covington never got that memo, and he wound up getting beaten and embarrassed. One would think that Covington would have learned his lesson, but in true Trumpaloon style, he decided to blame everyone else.
I've had my fair share of uneven fights, you know, unfair fights where I was working against the ref and the judges. So, you know, it is what it is. You know, if the bigger the fight means the higher the calling, and that's what Trump and I are doing right now.
Covington joined Eric Bolling on Newsmax, where he bellyached about being picked on for his beliefs. Covington claimed that he is the target of referees who hate Donald Trump and take it out on him by judging against him. Colby Covington is a sore loser.
As you can see, Kid Rock right next to Trump in there, and I think Dana White was back there as well. So, you know, people who kind of patriotic Americans, people who matter, love Trump, and the people who kind of make the rules, people in D.C. and the judges, maybe not so much.
People don't like President Trump because, oh, he had mean tweets, but you cannot deny that our country was a stronger nation with him in the White House. I mean, he put fear and respect in all the foreign leaders. No one would dare do anything. I mean, he had infrastructure. He had our economy climbing. Now our infrastructure and economy is crumbling. You know, and we have all these illegals coming across the border. These aren't men and women. These aren't women and children looking for amnesty. These are military-age men looking to come to destroy our democracy from the inside out. You can almost kind of compare it to a Trojan horse, except there's a wide-open border and there's no fake horse.
Why is Colby Covington making the rounds on right-wing media, one might ask? It may be that he sealed his fate with UFC President Dana White. It was an angry scene at the UFC 296 news conference. Covington had made a comment about Leon Edwards' late father before their welterweight fight in Las Vegas. "I'm bringing you to the 7th layer of hell," Covington said to Edwards. "We'll say what's up to your dad while we're there." Needless to say, there was some bad blood going into the fight on December the 16th. Colby Covington got the snot beat out of him. Leon Edwards had every intention of making the MAGA moron eat his words. Colby Covington crossed the line when he insulted another man's dead father. With Donald Trump looking on, the MAGA moron got his face rearranged, and it couldn't have happened to a more deserving individual. White was not happy with Covington's horrific remarks. It's rumored among other fighters that Covington may not get any more fights either. He seems to have burned too many bridges, and he is past his prime. He is looking for a career change. Colby Covington thinks that he is qualified to go into politics now. He thinks that he has something in common with Donald Trump after losing bigly and wants to follow in Donald's footsteps. If lying to yourself and everyone else qualifies someone to be a GOP candidate, then Covington definitely has the credentials. Covington has said that his ultimate goal is to be the governor of Florida. What a joke. Colby Covington is a delusional moron that is making excuses for being a washed-up fighter. He shot off his big mouth and got humbled by a better opponent. Colby Covington lost on all of his own, but can't accept the fact. He is a big crybaby that can dish it out, but definitely cannot take it. Whatever Colby Covington decides to do next, we hope that he runs into many different versions of Leon Edwards in his career. Knuckleheads learn by hard knocks, and Covington is one of the stubborn type. Colby Covington is a MAGA moron that would make excuses instead of good policy in any office. He's not fit to serve in any capacity, and that is an absolute fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.